session, Dr. Cathy is our lactation consultant and general pediatrician joining us for our parent Q&A for May. And because we understand some people cannot make it today, we decided that we will try and this is called, we're going to record it instead for the benefit of those that cannot make it. So let's answer, Dr. Cathy, our advanced questions. Is that okay with you?
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Sure.
Sure. I think more of a comment than a question, so you don't necessarily have to answer, but someone had sent a comment and said that they wanted to understand their children more and how they can be a better mother. I wanted to point it out long because I think a lot of parents think this way, and it's quite understandable. And even to ask the questions, I think, is being a better parent in itself, because you're curious about your children, and hopefully these Q&As, when you send us your questions, is helpful on your parenting journey.
Okay. Sige. So, well, I think the fact that you are asking that question, the mom is asking that question, parang proof that you really want to better yourself for your kids, no? Parang hirap eh. I'm a parent of tatlong kids, college, high school yung isa, and then elementary. And yet, so I've been a parent for mga 20 years, and yet feeling ko hindi ko pa rin nagagawa ng maayos. So what I want to say lang is, if kasi the mom is asking how she can understand her child more, tama ba, and become a better mother. So mahirap kasi ngayon because of the internet. It can be a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because you can see other people how they do it and learn from what they're doing. At the same time, there's the pressure of, ay, dapat ganito. And then if I don't do this, am I failing as their parent, as a mom? So siguro let's look at our kids and start from there. So meet them where they're at. Depends on the age of your child. If you need to go down to their level to understand them more, that would be a good thing. And also siguro learn to listen. I mean, personally, the way that I was brought up, bawal magtanong. Diba? Usually parang, basta pag sinabi ni mami na ganito, ganyan. I remember when I was still in, one of the reasons why I became a doctor, kasi bata pa lang ako, yun yung na-instill sa akin, na magdodoktor ako. So parang na-ingrain na sa sarili ko. So, siguro now, mas maganda if we listen also to them. And not just to their verbal cues, no? The non-verbal is also very important. So learn to listen, and then siguro be kind to yourself. It's not, sometimes there will be bad days. Actually, maraming parang at the end of the day, you will think, naku, parang hindi ko nagawa yung ganito. I think my daughter asked me something and then I snapped at her kasi may ginagawa ako. I usually do that at the end of the day, parang tinitingnan ko ano ba yung mga ginawa ko today. And then tomorrow, parang promise ko sa sarili ko, tomorrow I will do better. There will be days na parang you will feel you are a bad parent, pero trust me, your kids your kids don't think that way. So yun lang, be kind to yourself, and we make mistakes as long as we parang correct them. So yun lang yung masasabi ko as a mother. I'm not an expert on parenting, pero that's how I do. That's my style.
You are an expert for your own children.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's go to the next one. So the next one is sharing that they have an in-law who is insisting that the table food is too much for a 2-year-old, and maybe the reason why they're thin. And the question was if it was true. I'm actually not too certain, but it made me wonder to say if maybe this 2-year-old is actually not eating what's being presented to them. Yeah, medyo thin. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are in terms of feeding behaviors of our 2-year-olds.
Okay. So when we say table food, I'm assuming parang yun na rin yung family meals, right? Kung anong kinakain ng family. So usually, diba, we mentioned earlier na at 1-year-old, usually whatever the family eats, yun na rin dapat yung kinakain ng kids natin. So the period from 6 months to 12 months is actually parang sort of like a training ground to expose the baby to a wide variety of food, as well as, you know, the texture, how to feed, how to chew and everything. So that pagdating dun sa transition 1-year-old, kaya na nila yung family food, table food. Okay, so now the question is, gaano ba karami ang kailangan kainin ng anak ko, whether it be 1-year-old, 2 years old, 3 years old? So I want to siguro emphasize, or I want to say na there's what we call division of responsibility. So I've learned this from my colleagues who are expert in feeding, plus listening also to their talk. So there's such a thing, what we call division of responsibility between the parent or the feeder or the primary caregiver and the child. So what this means is that what, when, and where, what to eat, when to eat, where to eat is the responsibility of the parent or the primary feeder or the caregiver. So what it means, we prepare a variety of healthy foods for them. When we set a schedule for them, generally 3 main meals and then snacks in between, and then there's the schedule. And then where ideally we want them to eat with the family, kaya nga, di ba, family meals. Now, how much to eat is the child's responsibility. We are hung up kasi on kailangan maubos para lumaki siya. Kailangan maubos yung sa plato niya. And then, when that doesn't happen, nagkakaroon ng conflict. So, we have to recognize that it's the child's responsibility kung gaano karami yung kakainin niya. Okay? The nutrition naman that the child gets is not just from one meal. It's for the whole day. So, kung konti lang kinain niya yung breakfast, then it's okay. Maybe babawiin niya during lunchtime or dinner time. Because same thing with us, diba? Sometimes we don't feel like eating a heavy breakfast. Gusto natin bread lang and pero sa lunch, mas marami-rami. So we give that child the responsibility kung to dictate kung gaano karami yung kakainin niya. So I guess yun yung kailangan din matutunan ng parents. Now, kung konti lang kinakain niya, and that's the reason why. Yeah, so kung ano yung reason ng pagiging thin niya, marami kasing factors. So one could be the amount of food that the child is eating, or the quality of food. Pwedeng marami siyang kinakain pero not really good quality. Genetics can also be a factor. Also, being thin doesn't automatically mean that the child is undernourished, diba? So usually kasi nasanay tayo na dapat mataba. Mataba is healthy. Pag payat, hindi ka healthy. So it's not like that. So I guess ang main point ko dito is you can go visit your peds so that your doctor can check other anthropometrics, and it will be a good way to objectively say whether your child is undernourished or not. And if ever may kulang, then your doctor can give you advice on how to improve. Maybe kung hindi maganda yung eating habits, or maybe improve the quality of the food that you're giving. So yun ang magandang gawin, not just based on whether payat si baby or mataba. Yun.